Don't get cute. Don't try to be, we're going to be the smartest people in the room here. Shut the hell up and get to the quarterback. You're taking an edge rusher, whether it's at 2, 6, I don't give a flipping. You're taking an edge rusher.
It's Mock Draft Monday. Let's get this started. Adam, you are up first.
All right. So before we get it up on the screen, I did make a trade. Obviously, this weekend we had the Deshaun Watson news. Jimmy Garoppolo still available on the market, but I took into consideration, I think Carolina is going to be a team that's going to want to reach up and move up and get a Malik Willis maybe.
They also offered me the same deal. My question to you would be, did it concern you they don't have any other picks?
Yeah, no, because I took all the futures, right?
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah, so
okay.
Unfortunately with PFF, it doesn't let you go years beyond. So my asking price would be 2 future ones on top of the 6th pick.
Okay.
But I don't think that is doable, to be fair. I wouldn't do it if I was Carolina. So I took a future 1, a future 2, and the number 6 overall pick. So I slide back, and who do I get at number 6? The same guy I was considering taking at number 2, Trey Von Walker, edge rusher out of Georgia, a guy I'm a big fan of. I really think he's going to be something special. And you're going to see a theme on this board. Guys, Georgia won the Natty for a goddamn reason. There's some goddamn football players, all right? So we're going to move up to 32. Lewis Science safety out of... What do you know? Georgia.
Double Georgia players.
Number 34, guys, the more I watch the kid play, the more I fall in love. Leo Chenal, linebacker. Beautiful linebacker, by the way. Out of Wisconsin, the 2nd highest graded PFF grade ever. Only behind who? Micah Parsons. The highest PFF grade for a linebacker coming out of college, only to Micah Parsons. Give me Leo Chenal. Great value at 34. You're going to need a linebacker. Detroit, and you'll see the theme in here of acquiring depth. We'll get to that a little later. Number 66, look, I think everybody is looking at the pick number 66 for a wide receiver. Christian Watson available on the board. He's probably not going to be there at 97. Taking him at 66. I now have my big-bodied receiver to go along with DJ Chark, to go along with Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson. The offense is starting to look more and more complete. Pick number 97, guys, to be honest with you, there was nobody available at 97 where I was like, my goodness, I'm getting so much value. And I've already addressed the edge rusher. I've already addressed safety. I've addressed linebacker. I've addressed wide receiver. You know what? I don't mind taking a chance on a running back. Look, we all know you're not taking a running back in the 1st or 2nd round. Hell, not even the 3rd round. Just don't do it anymore. But with the compensatory pick, yeah, I'm considering it. I think he could be one of the better running backs to come out of this year's class. We're taking a shot on. You're not committed to Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift has shown you he's not healthy ever. So even then, what are we doing with this team in the future at running back? It's always good to bring in fresh legs. I don't mind the James Cook pick. Would love to know what all of you think in the chat. Then we go to pick number 137, Neil Farrell, interior lineman out of LSU. Now, this guy doesn't have the biggest ceiling. He's not, the greatest player coming off. But you know what? Depth. Depth is the theme of this draft. It's the theme of this offseason. I don't mind Neil Farrell at 137. We move on. I just talked about depth. Micah McFadden. Pick number 144, linebacker out of Indiana. This is a guy, again, that jumps off the screen. A guy that is just always somewhere around the ball. He has an innate ability to make the play for your team. Good run stopper. Can get to the quarterback occasionally. He's no Leo Chenal. He's no Micah Parsons. But you know what? Again, you signed Alex Anzalone to a 1-year contract. You need help at linebacker. Get as much help as you can. Pick number 177, JT Woods, safety out of Baylor. Again, depth. There's nothing wrong with depth here. Maybe I was considering a lineman, but I didn't pull the trigger. And then, of course, I cap off this entire mock with taking Jake Ferguson. Yes, I understand they signed the tight end out of New Orleans, but for me, what I wanted to accomplish was depth. I wanted to get my rock star players, insert here now with the first 3-4 picks, and then it was all about depth. Finding value at that position, finding value at that pick, and of course addressing depth. And I get Jake Ferguson at pick number 181. I'm pretty happy with it. Jeff, what do you think?
I like it. 2 linebackers. I kind of feel you on that as well. You went edge rusher, Trayvon, number 6. I think that's great value. Trading back to 6 and at least taking a guy like Trayvon, who everybody's arguing you could take him at 2. You found him at 6. And you got future assets. So I got no problem
with it. A future
with it.
first and a future second.
And then for my question to you is, I know you took JT Woods, number 177. Where did Nick Cross go? Did he go?
Nick Cross went third round. Yeah.
Third round, wow.
Look,
okay.
I mean, that's a kid I'm in love with. But again, Lewis signed Jaquan Brisker. They're on the board at 32, guys. 34? You're considering it.
Yeah.
It is a position of need. I'm not taking a safety at 2, let alone 6. And Kyle Hamilton was already off the board, so that's not going to happen if this scenario plays out. Guys, get to the quarterback. You've ranked 30th, 28th, 26th, 20th, 30th, 32nd in pass rush over the last few years. You suck at getting to the quarterback, Detroit. Let me reiterate it. Maybe you haven't maybe you haven't understood a damn thing I've said this morning. Detroit, you suck at getting to the quarterback.
True.
Don't get cute. Don't try to be, we're going to be the smartest people in the room here. Don't try to be the sexy guys. Don't make the sexy pick. Shut the hell up and get to the quarterback. You're taking an edge rusher, whether it's at 2, 6, I don't give a flipping fuck. You're taking an edge rusher. Did I make myself clear this morning?
Very clear.
Good.
Exceptionally clear. I love it. Back-to-back Georgia, the Bulldogs in the first round.
I did
like
load
it.
up on Georgia players.
I
3
really do
Georgia
like
players, 2 Wisconsin players.
Do you think, and I know someone talked about it in the chat, and I kind of had this similar issue. Do you think it's hard to evaluate Georgia players because of the talent they had on defense? I know Trayvon's going to be a great player, but just in terms of trying to evaluate everybody, like the people love Jordan Davis, but is it hard to evaluate these guys with as much talent as they had on that damn defense? I mean, it's hard.
You have to look more than just beyond production. You have to look at what are they capable of doing and what translates to the NFL. And when I look at a guy like Trayvon Walker, that's one of the 5, 6 players in this draft that I think walks into the league and makes immediate impact. Yeah. And I'm not talking, they contribute to the football team. No. There's going to be a ton of those guys. I'm talking guys that play at the level potentially of a Michael Parsons did year 1. That's the level of production I'm looking at from some of these players. When you draft Aiden Hutchinson, when you take a tackle, when you take a guy on the edge or interior, you expect damn good production, Pro Bowl caliber players year 1. And that's what I expect out of Trayvon Walker. I think he's going to be an absolute unit. Again, I traded back to number 6. Carolina's pick next year. I also have to take that into consideration. That could be a top 10 pick next year. Look, they're not fans of Matt Rule right now. He is on the hot seat. They don't have the quarterback situation figured out. Not only did I get to trade back to 6 in this scenario, I may likely end up with a top 10 pick next year, along with my pick and the Rams pick. Yeah, I'm going to be getting a quarterback next year, guys. I'm going to be able to trade up and do whatever the hell I choose to next year, so if I choose to. That's simple. I'm going to have the draft capital on top of another second-round pick next year. So I'll have 2 second-round picks as well, on top of the 3 first-round picks I'll have next year. Yeah, I'm feeling good about the Lions.
Yeah, you'll take it.
I'm feeling really good about that trade scenario. And I think really Carolina is one of the few teams that should or is willing to trade up given the market, right? You don't want a few picks to go by and then Seattle trades up and they want Malik Willis. And I'm only saying Malik Willis because, a lot of people have him as the number 1 quarterback right now. But, that's how I see this playing out. They took a chance on Cam Newton, even though he was the best player coming out of college that year.
Yeah, a little different, but same. Yeah.
Similar build.
Yeah.
Similar concerns in terms of accuracy. I'm open to it. Jeff, you got to give me a grade. What's the grade?
I'm going to give you a B+, A-. I like it. I really do. I mean...
Fuck you. I put a lot of work into that.
I'll give you like a C. No, honestly, I really do. I like it. I think, honestly, if you want to add in the assets you got, it very well could be. It really well is an A. I mean, honestly, you got the future assets, and especially next year, and you got 6. You got the guy you like. It's a win-win. It is a win-win, but we'll see. In my draft, I didn't trade back, so it'll be a little different.
What's your final answer? Because you gave him a B+, an A-, and
then a C.
No, I was joking about
what
the C.
What I do to you?
I'll give you an A.
Come on, I just got you a future first and a future second. I got you one of your favorite players on the board. This guy's so mean.
No, I'm joking. I love being hard on Adam. I'll give you an A-. That was good.
Jeff, I do want to ask you one question before we get to yours. In the scenario that the Lions do trade back, am I off by saying you're going to have to accept less than you would in most years? See, to me, trading from 6 to 2, I'm content with the first and a second for next year.
Right.
But if this was last year's draft class, I'm getting 3 future ones.
Yep.
And the current one that they have. Beggars can't be choosers, right? And in this market, you're probably going to have to take a little less than what you'd want. But I think it offers a ton of value still long-term to this football team.
Yeah, absolutely. No Joe Burrow, no Myles Garrett, Chase Young in this class. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to be less, but if they could trade back, you absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. I'm excited to get into mine.
Yeah, Michael Crane in the chat says the trade with the Jets for picks 4 and 10. Michael, I'm going to ask you a question. I do expect you to answer this, please. Michael, if you are the Jets GM, what in the hell are you thinking offering the 4th and the 10th pick, 2 top 10 players, just to trade up 2 spots? You okay, buddy? You okay? I think you have a problem. And if you need help, we'll find you help.
We got to ask our good friend Abe, Jets fan. He'd probably be like, hell no.
You would never in your freaking life.
He'd be like, hell no.
Consider trading 2 top 10 picks just to move up to number 2. For what? You don't need a quarterback. You fuck. The Jets have Zach Wilson. Why the hell should they consider trading up to the number 2 pick?
When they could probably...
The Jets are out of this market. The Giants are out of this market. And if the Jets or the Giants decided to trade the 5th and the 7th or the 4th and the 10th pick to the Detroit Lions, I wouldn't complain. But those GMs would be fired the fucking minute that happened. Stop with these impossible trades. That is never going to happen. Impossible to happen. Stop listening to the internet. It's lying to you.
Yeah.
That is not a reality. Think. That's all you got to do is just think. If you were the Jets GM, do you make that trade? The answer is no. If you were the Giants GM, do you make that trade? The answer is no. So why the hell even expect it, consider it, or even try to speak it into existence? It would never happen in a million years. I would turn into a tree before that pick or that trade ever happened.
Yeah.
I would turn into a goddamn tree before that ever happened. I would die, decompose, turn into a seed, and over 200 years I'd turn into a goddamn tree. And that still wouldn't happen.
Still wouldn't have accepted it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, you hear it from a Jets fan's mouth. I mean, Abe in the chat, he's like, hell no, we're not doing that. So even if you're gonna doubt the GM, Joe Douglas, then don't doubt.
Let me
Abe.
ask you a question. On top of that,
What's up?
let's say they trade up to 2, the Jets.
Yeah.
And they get Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson. Is that better than getting Kyle Hamilton and Devin Lloyd?
Oh, hell no.
At 4 and 10?
Hell no.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. They're not trading 2 top 10 picks. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Lions fans, you should know better. All right? Don't play stupid with me this morning. It's Monday. I'm cranky. I haven't even finished my coffee yet. Don't start with me this morning, all right? I've been up since 5. I don't want to deal with this nonsense.
5? That's pretty late.
Fish, go fuck yourself, all right?
I guess that's pretty late.
Jeff, your turn.
Well, I'm excited to show mine. Now, over the last couple of weeks, these mock drafts, it's been kind of, I've been changing it. I've been mixing it up. Kind of now we're about a month away from the draft. I'm going to now make my mock draft of guys that I've kind of loved over the last 2 mock drafts I've done. And you can throw it up on the board. You guys will see where I took at number 2. And I did take Kayvon Thibodeau. Now, before you say, well, Jeff, Kayvon, why the hell did you take him at number 2? Well, let me tell you this. I wasn't trading back, and Aiden was gone at number 1. I had Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton, or Trayvon Walker. At number 2, I'm taking Kayvon. I'm sorry, guys. His get-off is too good. He's going to be a great pass rusher. I get the mentality thing, and I think, in my opinion, it's dragged out a whole lot. But again, I'm taking the best player available, and to me, Kayvon was the best player available at number 2. So give me Kayvon Thibodeau. I addressed the edge rusher. I'm good there. 32, Jaquan Brisker. Now, I do have concerns. One thing, Jaquan played a lot at Penn State injured. He played a lot through injury. Maybe you do have some of those injury concerns, but as a player, you can't deny it. You're getting similar value in a safety at 32 than, in my opinion, you would drafting Kyle Hamilton. Yeah, he might be a better prospect, but the production will still be similar. I like the Jaquan Brisker at number 32. Lewis Seen, I believe, was already off the board, so Jaquan, best safety available. I'm taking him at number 32. 34 was going to go wide receiver, but I thought to myself, well, I could probably get the wide receiver I like at 66. So for me, I took Brian Asamoah. Probably the most athletic linebacker, or one of, if not the most athletic. You have Devin Lloyd, you have Nakobe Dean, but Brian Asamoah flies around the field, and he did nothing but production at Oklahoma. Just a beast. And I took 2 linebackers in this draft, which I'll get to, but Brian Asamoah, I'm taking him 34, excuse me. Now, 66, the guy I loved, and I've loved for a long time. I don't care about the draft. I mean, guys, you can look at, the combine. You can look at the combine and judge players, but David Bell, watch the tape. Watch the tape. David Bell, everyone has questions about his athleticism, but the guy can play football. And at 66, you get a premier route runner, somebody who translates to the NFL. Now, is he a speedster, burn you over the top? No. He's a guy who's going to pick you apart in the middle of the field and a possession receiver. So I like it. I like David Bell a whole lot at number 66. Sam Williams at 97. This was a guy that I contemplated because everyone remembers he did have the big, kind of a sexual assault case at Ole Miss, kind of has a bad background. So Sam Williams, last 2 years, production, graded one of the most, I think it was an SEC sack leader this year. So if you're going to talk about production at the edge, I'm talking 97. Sam Williams, he doesn't get much better than that. But again, if he doesn't work out, you took him at 97. So it doesn't matter anyway. 177, I took Jelani Woods, a tight end that I'm very fond of. I might have even reached for him. You could have got him at 181, but I didn't want to wait till 217 to even risk it. So I took Jelani Woods. He's a guy who's going to come in right away, back up or be the third string tight end. 6'7", crazy athleticism, kind of the polar opposite of TJ Hawkinson, someone who I've liked over the last couple months or last 2 months at least. So 181 is where it got interesting, guys. Nefi Sewell, like this a whole lot. Gives me the opposite of Brian Asamoah, someone who's very good in coverage. Brian Asamoah, there's the question marks. Maybe his coverage in terms of in the pass game. Nefi solves that. It's kind of the dual opposites. I get it, both linebacker spots. Nefi can do one thing, Brian can do another. And then Josh Rivas. I had to take a guard, guys. At number 217, I took a guard, Josh Rivas out of Kansas State. Somebody who can come in and, in my opinion, take Vitai's spot right away, if not in the next year or so. And he's cheaper. And I love it. He's one of the best offensive guards in football. So I'll take Josh Rivas at number 217. And Kalen Barnes, that 7th round pick, guys, it was a reach. I mean, not a reach, excuse me. It was just a flyer. I mean, 7th round, I'm taking Kalen Barnes. He gives you depth. I get it. He had one of almost the fastest 40 ever, but it's the 7th round pick. Speed kills. So I'm taking a cornerback who, was productive at Baylor, but not only that, someone that, hopefully if he turns into the player you think he is, you took him in the 7th round. So I'm good with it. But this is my draft, guys. I didn't trade back. I took who was there. I stayed put. And I feel pretty comfortable. I took 2 linebackers. I got a wide receiver. I got 2 edge rushers. Got a guard. Got some secondary players. And a backup tight end. So I got no problem. I like this draft.
I love that model. If you told me with the first 5 picks, the Lions took an edge rusher, then a safety, then a linebacker, another edge, and a wide receiver, I'm pretty happy. It doesn't matter on the order. The only order that would throw me off is if they take the safety at 2,
that's the tough
which could end my career here at Woodward Sports. I'm not joking. That would be pretty bad. I don't think the world is ready for me if the Detroit Lions take Kyle Hamilton at number 2.
I almost thought about it, but then I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do it.
I would rather them go all in on the quarterback and Malik Willis than them dare take a safety at number 2. I don't care how much of a ball hawk he is. I don't care how valuable he may be to a football team. Your football team, Detroit, is not ready for Kyle Hamilton. You know why? Because you weren't ready for Marcus Williams. And you aren't ready for any of these players, let alone to pay them that much to play that position until you get your shit together on the defensive line. So you don't talk to me about getting a safety at number 2 or paying a safety 14, 15 million a year until you can pressure the quarterback. Because what's the safer bet? Relying on a premier edge rusher to get to the quarterback, or relying on a premier secondary player to quote unquote shut down an opposing team's best wide receiver?
Yeah.
And take the edge rusher. Unbelievable.
And that's the funny part. Like, when I did this mock draft, I really did think to myself, like, maybe I will take Hamilton and find a way to take an edge rusher at 32. I just couldn't find myself to do it. I really couldn't. Like, I was going to do it for the entertainment value, but, like, in all seriousness, I couldn't sit up here with a straight face and convince anybody that's watching this show that, you know, I'm confident taking Kyle number 2 overall. Like, and there wasn't a trade, you know, close enough back to where I could still get him. Even at 6, he's gone. So, listen, I stuck with the edge rusher. You guys can say what you want about Kayvon Thibodeau. I think you guys will be looking back 6 months from now and probably eating your words. Listen, about a year from now. So I'm good with my pick. I like it. I've been pretty consistent. Safety at 32. Whether they take him at 32 or 34 doesn't matter. But I like Jaquan. Aside from all the guys, you know, the injuries, he playing through injury a lot. Lewis Cine would probably be the other safety I would be perfectly fine with. I took Lewis Cine about 2 weeks ago, so safety at 32, 34, linebacker. Yeah, you're right, Adam. First 4 or 5 picks of mine has stayed consistent, so we'll see what the Lions do.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I like Tim's Rams house in the chat. I like his comment. Safety is no good at number 2 because the pass rush is most important. Draft common sense.
Facts, Tim.
Guys, that is probably one of the easiest and the best things I've heard all day. Draft common sense. It's just like draft the cocaine, right?
Yeah.
You guys want to do cocaine? If it's not on the table, what are you going to do? Get the cocaine first, and then let's talk business, okay? Draft the cocaine, meaning an edge rusher, meaning a safety. Let's go. Linebacker, right? Build the defense. Offense will be just fine this year. You've got a creative offensive coordinator. You've got a capable quarterback. You have one of the better offensive lines and a good run game. You have a plethora of options at wide receiver, and you may still draft one. So do me a favor. Shut the hell up. Draft the cocaine. And everything's going to fall into place. We're all going to be happy campers. I'm not going to be agitated in the mornings anymore. I'm not going to be stressed. Guys, draft
Easy
the
just
cocaine.
posted his